I remember walking on thinking, holy crap, I'm in a different category now. What is good, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Justin and you guys are here with JustINKD. So are you guys thinking about getting a tattoo sleeve but you're not sure if you want to get one full sleeve or two full sleeves? Well, as you guys can see, I have two full sleeves and I pretty much have a leg sleeve as well. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my experiences going from no sleeve to one sleeve and then one sleeve to two sleeves, the pros and cons to each, and then finally what I think might be the best sleeve choice for you to get. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. In this channel, we pretty much talk about all things that are tattoo related, my experience, opinions on certain topics, but most importantly, guys, my journey towards getting amazing tattoos and working towards an awesome bodysuit. From the Pharaoh to the Anubis to the out of this world astronaut, all have been amazing pieces. I have booked a couple more points with Brandon to finish off the leg and maybe a couple other areas as well. And you definitely want to stay tuned because a new tattoo will be coming soon. So definitely go ahead and subscribe, join the community. But let's get to today's video, guys. Let's go. So tattoos have become so popular in today's time and age. So many of us have them nowadays, and I'm pretty sure we cannot name somebody we don't know without them. Everybody knows somebody now that has a tattoo. And when you think about tattoos, the first thing that at least comes to my mind is sleeves. And if you don't know what a sleeve is, I definitely recommend you go watch this video where I go in and talk about all the different types of sleeves that might suit you best. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about one in particular that I believe is the most popular, and that is the full sleeve, which pretty much runs from the top of the shoulder all the way down to the wrist. And as you guys can see, I got two of them and I absolutely love them. I cannot picture life without them. But in today's video, I want to make a little disclaimer and pretty much say that, you know, this is going to be my opinion and kind of my personal experiences getting one sleeve and then going and getting two. There's a big jump and there's a lot of feelings that I felt when getting them, and I want to kind of bring them to your attention so I can help you make the better choice and better decision in terms of if you want one or two, and then go from there. Now I want you guys to go ahead and comment right now and let me know, how many sleeves do you have? Do you have one sleeve or do you have two sleeves? Also, let me know what the style and theme of it is as well. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about my personal experience going from no sleeve to one sleeve. And if there's one thing I really got to say about this all, it's a big step. And the reason why I say that is pretty much you go from no sleeve, so bare skin, to full covered ink sleeve. It's a big step, and you know, you look totally different. And in my case, I had pretty much had a lot of this done. This was my right sleeve. It was done by Evo. He was a guest artist. It was done within a month's span time. So I had a short amount of time going from nothing, from skin to pretty much a solid arm of ink. I did have a couple lingering tattoos that were done by other artists, was the cross and then the angel and the rose. But when you really complete the whole arm, totally different feeling, and it just makes you feel so much better. When I walked out, I felt like a different person having that full complete sleeve. You walk different, you talk different. The confidence you have is through the roof. And what I really like about one sleeve is you are heavily tattooed without actually overdoing it and going into like kind of different kind of like, you know, a different kind of category. The people that don't have tattoos or have very little tattoos, you're heavily tattooed. But the other people that are like very heavily tattooed, you're not heavily tattooed. So I feel like having one sleeve is like just the perfect amount. So now let's get into the pros and cons of going from zero to one sleeve. And that pretty much is, you know, you feel more confident. Like I said, you know, the confidence is through the roof. You feel like a different person. And I'm telling you guys right now, you're going to find yourself, you know, wearing a lot more tank tops, trying to show them off a lot more. You're going to be in a crowded area. You're going to be like, ah, screw this. I'm going to take my shirt off or my jacket off and show that I have a sleeve. Now, the next pro that I feel is that women do tend to like a lot more, you know, having one sleeve compared to like no sleeves or like two sleeves. I found that's like the perfect amount from what I've talked about, what I've heard about. But I would also like to hear a woman's opinion as well. I know my viewership is a lot of males, but if you are a woman watching this, please let me know. What do you think and how do you feel about sleeves? Do you like the one sleeve look or the two sleeve look or the no sleeve look? I would love to hear your opinion, and I'm sure all the males that are watching this video would love to hear yours as well. But the next pro that I feel as well is you get the best of both worlds. I feel like when you have one sleeve and then one blank arm, it just looks so good, and I feel like my eye just catches that arm right away. It's nice. You kind of have a good balance of, you know, a covered arm but also having kind of a blank thing, which is very nice. And then also the last kind of pro I have, and this one's gonna sound silly, but I know for a fact that I'm going to resonate with a couple people on this one, is you get to say you have a full sleeve. I'm telling you, it feels like a proud thing to say when you tell people that. And the reason why is I feel like you have to go through a lot of pain, you have to pay a lot, you do a lot of research, you have to do all this to kind of get it. And you know, you feel proud to say you finally have one done. I felt like that was just one that I had to throw in, but I feel like I know a lot of people are smiling at the computer right now because I know I'm resonating with that as well. But now let's get into the cons of having one sleeve, and that is obviously you have a sleeve, so you're gonna have a lot of visible tattoos. It goes from the wrist to the shoulder, so in this area right here, you're gonna have a lot of visible tattoos, and it might kind of hinder your job opportunity, say in some job fields that don't allow tattoos and or don't allow visible tattoos. So you just gotta watch that out for any kind of visible tattoos. But I mean, I just thought I'd throw that in there. It's kind of obvious, but I gotta throw it in. The next one is the bigger one of the cons, and that is that if you are somebody that takes a lot of pride in kind of, you know, working out, your muscularity, the striations, the cuts and all that, the definitions, you're gonna lose that with a tattoo, and especially a sleeve. Tattoos take away all those kind of definitions, those striations, and especially when you have that full sleeve, it covers everything. But on the bright side, you still have one sleeve or one arm that is not covered, so you kind of get to have the best of both worlds. You have a nice full arm that has art, has meaning to it, and then you still have another arm that you're still able to take pride in and kind of enjoy the cuts and all that. I know, I remember when I had mine done, I took a lot of pride in my arms. I always used to work them out all the time, and when I lost a lot of that, I was disappointed a bit. But at the same time, I was happy because I still got to enjoy my kind of art now, and I still got to enjoy all the muscularity that that other arm kind of had to offer, and I was able to show off. So now let's talk about going from one sleeve to two sleeve. And I gotta say, for this one, it really isn't as big of a jump and a step going from 0 to 1, just because you're kind of already used to that look of having a sleeve. You're used to the pain, and you're kind of just used to all that comes with it. But there are some big differences that I will mention as well. Now, I will also say that I had this sleeve done pretty much again by Evil within like a 3-week span, because he is a guest artist. I got to just bang a lot of shit out in a short period of time. But it really does give you a kind of look into how much things can change so quickly. And then going from one sleeve to two sleeves was a big jump. And the main thing I found from this when I walked out, when I was fully done, is how different you feel now. You feel covered. Like, I remember walking out and thinking, holy crap, I'm in a different category now. Like, having one sleeve, it looks good, it looks clean. Having two, you are really put into a different kind of category now in terms of, you know, being tattooed, being covered, and being perceived by people. So now let's talk about the pros and the cons going from one sleeve to two sleeves. And for majority of this, it's going to stay the same as the one sleeve. There are going to be a couple main differences. But again, you know, you're going to get a lot of confidence from this. You know, having more tattoos is going to make you feel more confident, and they're just going to keep increasing as you get more and more done. The next pro that I have to say is that now you really don't have to go about showing off anymore without having to show off. And what I mean by that is, like, when you had the one sleeve, you know, you're kind of new to the game and you want to show it off as much as possible. So you're wearing that tank top and all that, and you're like, you kind of say, I got a whole sleeve. When you have two, you kind of go about it in a different manner. You're wearing t-shirts a lot more, I found, at least, because I knew I had a lot of work done. I didn't have to kind of prove myself anymore. I kind of just wore it, went about my day, and you still get a lot of eyes on you. You get a lot of compliments, which is another pro as well. You get a lot of people coming up to you, asking you questions about your tattoos. You know, how did it hurt? Where'd you get it done? How much did you pay? And all that. And it feels good. The final pro I really have to say is that also, you know, like I said, you get to prove and say you had, and you kind of take pride in saying you have a sleeve. Now you get to say you have two, which is big, because that's two whole sleeves. It's two arms, it's two sleeves. You're pretty much done. You pretty much complete the whole thing. And again, you get that kind of prideness in terms of saying you paid for them, you went through all that pain, and now you are fully covered on your arms. It's just something, and I know that's going to resonate with a lot of people when I say that. So there was one thing I did miss when I was doing the filming from before, and this is another big pro to having two sleeves, and that is you have another sleeve now to work with. You have so much area. There's a lot of surface area on your arm, so you have a lot more area now to work with and put new pieces on that you may have missed before when you couldn't put them on the other arm without making that arm look too busy, or your new ideas, or maybe commemorating somebody or something in some way. So now you have another arm to really go ahead and collect more tattoos and continue your journey. But now I'm going to hand it back off to Pass Me. So now let's talk about the cons, and pretty much there's only one big con that I can really find from this, and it falls off the muscularity thing that we talked about with the one sleeve. Again, with the one sleeve, you were able to kind of have one full tattooed sleeve, enjoy the sleeve, and then you're still able to enjoy your muscularity, the striations, your veins, the contours. When you get that second sleeve now, all that goes away now too. So you're no longer able to enjoy kind of best of both worlds. Now you just have two full sleeves. And the thing with that is, and I'll tell you from my personal experiences, like, you know, again, I took a lot of pride in my arms. They had good definition. They had a lot of veins. They popped out. When I had that second full sleeve done, all that went away. And I was no longer feeling confident about myself in terms of my arms and the pride that I took in them. And now I had two, obviously two great sleeves, but that one thing that I also took pride in is now kind of no longer there. Now, I will say that you kind of get used to it, you get over it, but it does take a little bit of toll on your mind and how you look and how you feel. So my overall review on whether you should get one tattoo or two tattoos is go with the one and see how you feel. If you are somebody that likes your physique, you take pride in how you look, but you also still want to be covered up in a bit in terms of tattoos, enjoy a whole sleeve, go with one. You get to enjoy best of both worlds. You have that kind of sleeve that you can show off and be proud about, but while still kind of being proud on the kind of vascularity, the muscles and all that you are still able to show off from the physique that you have worked so hard to get. Also, if you are somebody that just wants to be considered tatted up and have a lot of tattoos while still not being too heavily tattooed, go with the one. You have that nice sleeve to enjoy while still having that one blank look. And the final thing that I really have to say about that one sleeve look is I think it actually looks the best out of anything. It's still aesthetically pleasing in terms of, one, your eye gets drawn to it right away compared to having two. Again, it's just a concentrated area that has a lot of work done, and then you have a blank look. And then if you have two, you kind of go and look at both. So I think it looks the best out of them all. When I see them on the street, when I see somebody that has one sleeve, I always look and I'm like, wow, right away. Now, if you are somebody though that loves tattoos for themselves, you love expressing yourself in some way, you love collecting these pieces of art and just making memories, then I definitely recommend you go and get both. You won't really care about those cons after a while in terms of, the muscularity look, in terms of being judged and all that. You won't care anymore, and you just go about your life enjoying your work, and you usually continue to get more. That's how I've been, and I don't regret them at all. I don't regret my decision. As you guys can see, I love my pieces, I love my sleeves, and I cannot picture a life without them. So if there's one last thing I really got to say is you're going to kind of know whether or not you're going to want that second sleeve once you get that first one. Again, going from 0 to 1 is a big jump just because you don't have anything, and then going from 1 to 2 is a big jump as well. And I just want you to be prepared that going from 1 to 2, you're going to feel differently in terms of how you kind of walk out that door. You're going to feel a lot more covered. You're going to feel like you're in a different type of category now. You're going to be looked at differently. So I want you guys to be prepared for all that. And I want you also to do me a favor and let me know how many sleeves do you have. But if you have that second sleeve, let me know, how did you feel walking out, and how did you feel now having that second sleeve on you? Did you feel like what I said resonates with you, or didn't you? I would love to hear your opinion. But I also want you guys to do me a favor, give the video a big thumbs up, go ahead, subscribe, join the community, because I got some great news. I got another tattoo coming very soon, which you do not want to miss. But I want to thank you guys so much for giving me your time like always, and I will see you next week like always. Justin out. Later, guys.